Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. My name's Mike Amos. His name is Forrest Lee, and it is a Monday as we get started. A big week of going ahead of us. Of course, Forrest Lee, big weekend. Troy has a big crowd, and 27,000 plus people watched them wear out. And I thought they were really the best football team. Marshall, 26-7, or 16 to 7. Mm-hmm. And of course, we had a lot of winners we can talk about this week.
Big time high school games that went on, collegiate games. Albert Pujols this weekend for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Boy, yeah.
He joined the 700 club. He hit 2 home runs in one day. He joins, of course, Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, who originally is from Mobile, and Babe Ruth. They're the only ones to hit 700 home runs in their career. He's played 22 years, and so it's kind of exciting for St. Louis Cardinals, and they're still in the hunt for the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's going to be fun to watch them.
It'll be kind of interesting. And yesterday in pro football, the New England quarterback, Mac Jones, suffered a leg injury. He limped off. I mean, they had to help him off the field.
That's not good. Were they winning at the time?
They lost 37-26 to the Baltimore Ravens, but when he was being helped, he was grimacing in pain. So,
but now, how much more was going on in the game? Was it?
No, I don't think there was much time left.
Yeah, so they had already concluded that the New England was going to lose the football game.
This was late fourth quarter. Yeah, under 2 minutes to play.
You know, he's not the most physical-looking player, and that might be going to be his weakness down the stretch. Maybe he, getting hurt a little bit. He seemed like he's been hurt all season so far.
Anyway,
he was a great college quarterback at Alabama, and I don't know if he's going to be that in the pros at all.
Yeah. Mike may mention it when he calls, but Tua Tagovailoa for the Miami Dolphins. There's a controversy during the game. He threw the ball, and the guy shoved him. He fell to the ground, and his head popped back. He got up, and then he was kind of woozy acting.
Yeah.
But the protocol is the NFL, they're looking into it because he should have not have returned to the game. But they're saying that it was a back injury that caused him to kind of waver a little bit. But they're fixing to investigate it. If it's a head injury and this concussion, they're going to probably be some big fines, not to him, but to the team.
Yeah.
So that's coming.
Of course, big weekend for Troy, and of course now they prepare to go to Western Kentucky. And Western Kentucky is one of the top teams.
The Hilltoppers.
Yes, sir. And here comes. Let's see.
Good morning. Welcome to Today in LA with Mike Amos.
Hi. Morning.
Good morning.
Tell us about Florida and tell us about the forecast down there.
Well, went out yesterday and didn't seem like anybody had a care in the world about a hurricane. There was about 500 people at the Red Bar last night when we were there. But, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We'll know a lot more probably later today as far as where it's going to shift, if it's going to go to the east or go to the west. I mean, when we went to bed last night, they were saying it was going to go towards Tampa. But you never know. It might keep on going north and hit the panhandle. We just don't really know yet.
Is it going to hit maybe Thursday?
That's
what we're hearing. My wife and I've got a wedding. We're supposed to attend. One of our good friends to get married in Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And we're actually flying out of Panama City Beach's airport on Friday morning. So that could affect us a lot.
Mm-hmm. Sure could. No question about it.
Before we get into everything.
Is Troy University back? Forest League? Did you watch the game?
We'll see about next week. I didn't see any of it. I saw maybe a couple replays, but I was out and about. But pretty big when you beat Marshall 16-7.
That's right.
They beat Notre Dame earlier in the year.
That's right. No
and then doggone if Appalachian State don't stub their toe. And James Madison beat them. You know, when people were all up about Appalachian State this, Appalachian State that, and then no, they're 2-2 just like everybody else.
You know, I've got this information, Mike, and it was pretty much the depth charts going into last week's game. And of course, Troy did play before over 27,000 fans, a good crowd out there.
I mean, I was in attendance. If there was 27,000 fans there, I want to know where they were because they must have been hot.
Well,
a lot of empty food.
Well, there must have been people that have already paid and didn't show up, you know. But I thought it was pretty good, especially on the home side. I thought it was a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, the home side was good, but you have to admit the business.
But now the team, the student side was pretty much packed at one time, and then they pretty much left it.
The band brought in 1,000 kids.
Yeah.
Attendance on that side. That side was packed.
Yeah, but the student side was very respectable. So they've got it down as 27,200. So I'll take the word for it. And
I mean, it'd be great if everybody went to their seat. You know, if everybody went to their seat, didn't stand, it would be a lot easier.
Oh yeah, there were probably a couple of thousand people standing in the end zone, and also it's about the same way for the stadium club. It was crowded on our end too. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, great game by Troy. I'm not gonna lie, I picked Marshall to win the game, and I'll tell you what, Coach Summerall, to get those guys to bounce back. One of the more devastating losses you'll see in college football history. And credit to him, credit to his staff. Looks like Gunnar Watson's playing his best football he's ever played. I mean, he still makes some really costly turnovers. But
how many yards he throw for, Mike? How many yards did Gunnar throw for? 400 and something, wasn't it?
321, I believe.
321. So another great day for.
And the running game came along a little bit, rushed for 100 yards. You know. DK Billingsley, all he does 2 years ago is rush for about 1,000 yards. And then Chip Lindsey decides just not to play him at all anymore. And, you know, he's Troy's leading rusher right now. He rushed for 85 yards against Marshall. Yeah,
exactly. And, you know, Mike, I met Troy's backup quarterback other day when I was over the athletic building. He is one fine-looking football player, I'm telling you, and is as nice a young man as you'll find anywhere. If something does happen to Gunnar Watson, I think we're in pretty good shape. I really do with this kid.
Well, you're going to hate it for the day kids. You know, you're talking about a guy that started for 1 year at Bowling Green, 2 or 3 years at West Virginia, and tries to get the Western Kentucky job, doesn't win the job. The transfer from West Florida wins him. You know, instead, and then he comes to Troy trying to compete for that job, and Gunnar Watson, let's just be honest, is playing the best football he's ever played in his career right now. So, looks like you won't see the field at Troy only if Watson gets hurt.
That's right. It looks like it, and he doesn't. And this kid doesn't have you know, like you said, he has only 1 year of eligibility, and
Carlton Marshall was the star of the day, though. He had 18 tackles on defense.
Boy, I tell you, he is something else. And, you know, he didn't play against Appalachian. You know, would he have been a difference?
Yeah, don't you think a guy that's now the all-time leading tackler in Sun Belt history?
So that's right. And, of course, Troy played without him in that heartbreaking loss. We've got...
Forrest, how do we do on our pitch?
Your dad missed 8, you and I missed 9, and Steve missed 10.
So I win this week. I did.
Yeah.
But it's a long.
I've got the overall though.
A long road to.
Give me a rundown. Charles Henderson won. Headland got beat by Pike County.
Yeah, no, Pike County beat Headland, didn't
it? Here we go, Pike County.
That's what I said. Headland got beat by Pike County.
Yeah, Charles Henderson defeated St. James 26-14, Pike County 18, Headland 13, Goshen 63, Kinston 19, Zion Chapel 28, Pleasant Home 18, Ayrton 28, Strawn 14, Holland Home 28, Brantley 27.
And that boy,
I had Highland home, but for some crazy reason I took Strong over Arrington.
yeah.
Well, Strong was undefeated.
And I picked Zion Chapel to win again, and they did. And they're off to one of their better starts, and as far as I can remember, Mike.
Yeah, I picked Zion Chapel too. They're playing Pleasant home.
Yeah. And guess who's in the studio right now? Cam Hambrick, the head football coach at Charles Henderson High School, is going to be our guest after these messages.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them. Protect them.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
He'll be fine.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Earl's Glass on South Frontage Street right here in Troy. And, of course, A1 Services, Terry Moats. We appreciate him and all the great things he has done for us over the years. And also our good friends at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Ford on the bypass in Troy. And one last look at Bird Drugs. Of course, they've been sold, but they're going to keep the same great drugstore that they've had for years. So no, nothing changed. They just changed ownership, but it'll always be Bird Drugs.
Says a group of guys, they own a company called Buy Right Drugs. It's an independent pharmacy with 12 stores in Florida and Alabama. Bird's Drugs was number 13.
That's right.
And Ron Pickens from Sneads, Florida, came in and initiated the talks with
but the
Bird
restaurant, the food will be the same. No, nothing changed at all. But just ownership. Coach. Yes, sir.
Beat St. James of Montgomery 26-14. Tell us about it.
St. James came out strong. They have some pretty good football players over there. They were number 3 in the state in 3A. So they were a tough opponent coming in. They drove the ball down the field the first drive, and we kicked it off. They kicked it off to us. We drove it right down for another score, and ended up taking a 14-7 lead. They scored at the end of the half, and we came out in halftime. I had a few words with them, making sure that they remain focused and locked in for the second half, and they did exactly that. St. James had 5 turnovers in that third, fourth quarter.
Well, you did. Y'all got after them.
Yeah, we got there 5 turnovers. They didn't score at all. We ended up scoring 2 touchdowns, and the final score ended in our favor.
Well, I tell you what, and I was very impressed. You know, I'm going to tell you, I did not go to the game, but I watched every down on cable, and I thought it was so well done. And of course, Wiley and Neil did a great job of it. You watch that too?
I usually watch it afterwards, just to see
but
commentators.
the television part of it was so clear. It was really well done. And
they do an excellent job. Troy Cable does an exceptional job with the replays and, you know, just making sure that these kids get noticed, man. I'm extremely blessed that we have that opportunity.
I'm glad you like it because to me, it's quality television.
It is.
Did you ever watch it on TV?
Sometimes I do. Yeah.
And, you know, I just couldn't make it over there. But like I said, I was able to watch every down on Troy Cable. And saw the big 26-14 victory over St. James.
Coach, that was quite a punt return your star player had. I watched that when I turned it over.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I knew that if he caught it, you know, he was going to make magic. And, you know, they really didn't kick it away from him, but it was, you know, a few skippers, you know, but that one stayed in the air. It was a line drive. With any ball that doesn't have a hang time that goes to him, it's scary.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it was a complete line drive to him.
You don't kick line drive to him.
You don't. And he had 10 yards in front of him that he can see. It was a man return up the middle. We just so happened to wash everybody out the way, and he made a good, you know, one or two moves and ended up scoring.
I know he broke at least 4 tackles, and maybe more than that for a touchdown.
Oh yeah,
he's an outstanding player.
Yeah,
and,
he is. And you know, for us to get a win, and you know, he had a quiet night. You know, number 6 was a pretty good football player over there. You know,
did they sort of cover him one man coverage or two?
They bracketed him a little bit. They left him, you know, with number 6 over there, and you know, we just try to find different ways to get the ball in his hand quick.
Oh, yeah.
You know, few blocking errors here and there that could have sprung him a few times on a few bubbles. But you know, like I said, he had a very quiet night. I mean, he still scored, but you know,
he scored twice, didn't he? I think.
He only had one.
Oh, one, okay.
Yeah, he only had 1 touchdown. Zach Coleman had 2. Parker ran 1.
Yeah.
And
well, Parker's very impressive. We talk all the time about Boyd and all the great things he's done. But let me tell you, I don't know if there's a quarterback playing any better right now in the state of Alabama than your quarterback, Coach.
Yeah, Parker, he's exceptional. The way he can run a game and make sure that everybody's in the right spots. He take care of the ball. He threw his first interception.
But it was deflected though.
Yeah, it was deflected. You know,
yeah.
So. You know, to go into week 6 with 1 interception, you know, he's taking care of the ball. That's a great job by him individually.
Who's number 45 on defense? Excuse me. Game when I watched him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jalen Southern.
He really played well.
Yeah, he's a junior. He's a kid. He's fast twitchy. He's probably one of my most improved players. You know, he lost about 30 pounds since last year. Mm-hmm. You know, last year we didn't rely on him, but I knew he had the athleticism to do it, and he took it upon himself this summer and this fall camp to make sure that he was the best football player that he could be. And so I'm extremely proud of Jalen for stepping up when we need him.
But right now, Parker Adams is playing lights out at quarterback, and then your running backs. You got 2 of them that are solid as rock, and one of them is nursing a little injury, but hopefully he'll be back for the game.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Rehoboth.
Coach, you got to do something strange. You got to travel. You got to go on the road this week.
Actually, we're at home. It's homecoming.
Yeah.
Are you still at home? My goodness.
Yep.
the first road game will probably be next week.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We're midway through the season.
I swear at the end of the telecast, I thought they said they had to go on the road.
They did. They said it. They said it. They said it. Yeah.
So who's going to play in the home though?
Homecoming is be Rehoboth. Yeah. This week.
Oh, Rehoboth and Troy. Okay.
Yes.
Rehoboth.
I know Pete Harrison real well. Their coach.
Okay.
Yeah, they're 1-4. They defeated Wicksburg 31-12. Rehoboth did. Rehoboth lost to Carroll 21-7. They lost to Headland 12-3. They lost to Enterprise 50-6. And last week they lost to Opp 23-13. Last year we defeated Rehoboth 40-7. So,
Coach says it's something that I think we've got to do something about. You have a 10th grader that has already been offered a scholarship to play for the University of Alabama.
Yes, sir.
and
A 10th grader. Now tell us about it.
Well, you know, Zion Grady, he's a great kid. I can't. There aren't any bad words that I can say about that particular kid in general. He comes to work every single day. He does what we need to do. His football IQ is through the roof. To be a young kid, and he's a ball player. Like, he can play football. He's one of the better defensive linemen that I've coached. Thus far.
And we're talking about a 10th grader, ladies and gentlemen, that has actually been offered a football scholarship to the University of Alabama.
Tennessee, Florida State, Auburn.
And it's actually
and
offered.
on and on and on.
Now, but now, of course, they've got 2 more years to play of high school ball. Now, isn't that a distraction? Isn't that quite a distraction?
No, it really.
Auburn could have 3 more coaches before then.
Auburn, don't worry about Auburn. They're the luckiest football team I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my
Let's just say that.
Oh my God!
I mean, I've never seen a guy miss a 26-yard field goal, and the guy's supposed to be one of the best kickers in the league, and then the guy's going in for a touchdown.
That one got me. They
get a touchback to win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Auburn's 3-1, but man, they should not be 3-1.
Yeah. But I'm glad for him. I got a lot of Auburn friends, and I'll be back over here. He'll.
Your wife's an Auburn grad. My sister's an Auburn grad.
War Eagle. The Auburn Tigers are victorious again, believe it or not, with a big 17-14 victory over. Go. Well, I just wanted the Auburn fans to know that we still love them out there. And wait a minute now, you didn't tell them you were an Auburn fan, did you?
Yeah, I am.
Oh God! So that's going to
radio?
influence him to play for Auburn one day, or what?
I don't know. I want him to make the decision based off of where he feels comfortable. I mean, I would love that, but
Please, let's don't talk about it anymore, because I just can't visualize that kid who is a sophomore and he's playing lights out. Tell us about him as a 10th grader.
Yeah, like I said, Zion's 6'4", 225, 230 pounds.
Was he born and raised here in Troy?
He was actually born in Atlanta.
Or was he was recruited to play at Charleston High School?
I think he moved here in the 7th grade. Yeah, I think. He's a great kid.
But you didn't know him before you got here or anything, though,
No,
did
sir.
you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I did. I knew that he was 8th grade, and I knew that I had to go to the middle school to make sure those guys didn't transfer over, because that was doing the pipeline of kids.
Exactly.
So the first thing I did, before I met with the high school football players, I went over there to the 8th grade, and I just told them, this is who I am. Make sure y'all come. Make sure you wear the orange and blue. And every single 8th grader that was there that was thinking about leaving, they came to Charles Henderson.
And that was great.
That was the very first thing that I did when I got hired here.
Yeah.
But he owes offers.
So the next level, though, do you think he'll play outside linebacker or defensive end, or you think he'll get so big he'll end up playing defensive tackle?
He'll be a DN buck type deal. He can actually drop. He's athletic. He can hit the edge. In a 5 technique. I mean, he gets off that edge so quick.
So he's a rush in now, though, and then he puts a lot of what is his number?
Number 6. He actually had to put on number 12 because they ripped his jersey. I mean, his entire left side, shoulder pads included, was showing. So
can I have that jersey?
How did that come about? That he got it ripped off?
A lot of holding. But
who's Alabama's lead recruiter down here? Charles Kelly?
Kelly, yes, he is. Yeah, Kelly.
He's actually from the Ozarks.
He was a finalist for the Troy job.
Yeah,
he came down to him in Summerall.
Oh, good deal. Yeah, I know. Kelly came. He spoke with me, sat with me for about an hour. We just talked.
Class guy, real class guy.
Yeah, he is, man. We talked about everything but football, and then we finally talked about Zion. But
Coach, I love you and I love your program, but it's hard for me to say this kid right here is going to play for Nick Saban at Alabama. Does that mean that he could sit out the next 2 years of high school football and play at Alabama?
No, it doesn't.
No, you can't do it.
No, but what I'm being facetious, right? But what I'm saying is, this kid's ready to play at Alabama right now.
No, not right now. But his senior year, I mean, he's definitely going to be that guy. Mm-hmm. His potential is through the roof, and he deserved every single offer that he's gotten. Like I say, he has Houston, Penn State, Auburn, Tennessee. Florida called me about him the other day. So.
Yeah, of course. We're going to just stay on this subject just a little while, but it's amazing. What is it they see more than anything? The physicality of this guy, or how fast he runs, or what?
Yeah, he's physical. The way he uses his hands is phenomenal. His technique coming off the line of scrimmage is good. He's and his size. He passed the eye test, and what that means is, when you walk in and you see a 6'4" kid. That's a 10th grader that, 220 plus pounds. Like, oh, okay. And he went to Bama camp. He went to the Bama camp this summer and lit it up. He had an excellent camp at Bama.
They could not get over that he was just a 10th grader. Is that right?
Yeah.
Has he turned 16 yet?
He turns 16 in November.
So he doesn't even have his driver's license, Coach, and y'all are sending him to play for the University of Alabama.
Yeah, so he's
Well, Dad, he's not going to Alabama yet.
I know it, but I'm just being facetious about this, all this stuff.
The good thing about that though is you got all these great coaches from all these great SEC schools coming to Charles Henderson, Coach.
Yeah, definitely.
They might find some other players.
Exactly, and that's the plan. When they come in, they sit down. They want to talk about Zion. Let's talk about these other kids. So and that's what it's all about. When you get college coaches when you start winning, number one, people want winners in their program, and and then if you win, especially coming from a 2-8 season to a 4-1 season, now there has to be some players to make that happen, and those college coaches, I guess, are seeing that now, and they're visiting and they're calling.
Coach Hamwright's being really nice. There's got to be some coaches to make that happen too. He turned it around.
Yeah.
The players are playing great football, but it's a reason why, man.
It's because they're out for football. They're being recruited within the walls of Charles Henderson and at the middle school, and then they're being developed in the weight room. They're being developed as citizens.
Yeah. Good people.
To make an impact in the community and in their school, to be leaders within the school. That's the key.
Yeah.
And when you get that and the kid knows what's right and what's wrong and the leadership and the role models that they're getting, that's how it's all, you're going to the mountaintop is where you're going.
Yeah. Let me just say this, that the leading recruiter for Auburn is Zach Etheridge, and Zach played right here at Charles Henderson. Do y'all have a relationship?
Yeah, I talk to Zach about once every 2 weeks. He'll text me, I'll text him. Like he'll say, keep going during the season. I give him that same encouragement as well. He'll ask about the guys. He'll ask about, Jawan, Zach, Zion, those guys.
All right, they're going to play this young man as a rush in. Is that right?
More than likely, yeah.
All right, now they're not in the middle. You've got who's your middle linebacker?
Middle linebacker for us is Damian Hart.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player too. Isn't he?
Damian has been playing lights out these last 2 or 3 weeks. He's been locked in. He's been focused, man. The ship don't sail without him for sure.
But I just don't want these kids to get big head and start thinking about playing college football instead of getting ready for next week to play Rehoboth.
Well, we I've had a lot of recruits, and I have a way of keeping them humble, and I have a way of making sure that they focus on the task at hand.
Say, here, son, go mop the floors.
Look, he came in with the hat on.
I go vacuum out not my car or whatever.
Yeah, Zion came in with the Bama hat on. I said, man, take the hat off. You're not a recruit. Get that off your head. We don't wear red. Okay, Coach, I forgot it was my.
How's the rest of your athletics going? How's the volleyball and I guess basketball will be cranking up soon?
Yeah, basketball's cranking up soon. They're working out. They're getting after it. They're hitting heels every day. It seems. I walk out there and they're hitting that baseball heel. basketball team. So they're going to be in good shape. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
They've been working extremely hard. Volleyball is doing a pretty good job. Coach Kirkpatrick is doing a pretty good job with them.
He's a good coach.
Cross country had their first meet a few weeks ago. I think they're doing an exceptional job as well. So,
and I see those kids running all the time, and when you see them running all over town, you know they got a track team.
Yeah, they.
I gave Carl Simpson $10 on Saturday. I parked up there.
Yeah, Michael, I said, Mike, I was taking him to his car. I said, you didn't pay for this, did I? I paid $10 for it.
Yeah, I don't know who.
I actually parked in my old spot my senior year, Coach. I went all the way to the top of the hill.
Oh, man, so yeah.
But he had his whole family with him, and that was as close as he could get to the stadium.
Yeah, it was a good crowd.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Yeah, I saw some pictures and everything. It was a pretty good crowd. My wife had her father had his 70th birthday party.
Oh boy!
This weekend, so we were planning for that. And, I went from working at Charles Henderson, working at the house. So
yeah. Before we get about this big game, and I thought it was a great game against St. James, who had a very good program. And what did my old coach buddy from them? What do you have to say?
Perry.
Yeah, Perry's a good guy. He just told me good game. Shook my hand. Said you had a good program. And it means a lot coming from a legend. He won a lot of state championships.
Right,
He's pretty good. So,
I'm not going to say everything is there, but going into your second year pretty much, or halfway through your second season,
yes, sir.
You've got to be proud of the job you've done.
Yeah, and I can't do it without my guys, man. Coach Austin calls offensive players, Coach Graham. All of those guys that make it happen.
I think, and I've watched him, and or watched the offense. He keeps it. He keeps it with a run pass type of situation.
Yeah, we're real balanced. And when it works, it's high school football. When it works, keep it going. We when you got your pedal and when your foot to the pedal, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going, and that's, I think Coach Austin does an exceptional job of managing the game and making sure that he calls, the shots when we need to take one downfield. If we got him on the ropes on the run, we're going to pound. So, he does a pretty good job with that.
So he's pretty good about going with what they're giving you. Is that right?
Exactly. He's not going to force anything. A lot of people want you to do this and do that, but if it's not there, we have those eyes up top, have those eyes down at the bottom. So.
But I'm telling you, each week, and I really mean this. This is a outstanding offensive line you got, and y'all are doing a great job of coaching them.
Yeah, the O-line has made exceptional strides this year. Compared to last year.
And they come off the ball. Tell us about who those guys are.
Yeah, they fire off the ball pretty good. With Zamir Caffey, who's probably one of the best linemen we have on the team.
And is he just a junior?
Yeah, he's a junior. The kid can play.
Yeah.
He's the smallest O-lineman we have.
Now, he had a brother that played before him. Didn't he? A brother
he graduated the year before I got here.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so Zamir is a pit. if he locks on to you, you better get ready for the ride. I mean, he works hard. Sterling, he works hard. Benton works hard.
Benton Dunn, and of course that's I grew up with his daddy, who played in the band, and of course a big old guy, and this is a big guy that instead of playing in the band, he's playing football.
Yeah, Benton, he's a kid that.
How good is he, Coach?
He's really good. He's good. Ben has potential to play big time football.
Well, he's a triplet.
Yeah.
And then your other kid on the other side, the right tackle, who is that?
That's Connor Jones. He plays pretty good.
Tell us about him. What kind of player is he?
Connor.
He's a big, pretty guy.
He's big. Connor's big. When Connor realizes that he's bigger and stronger than everybody, he'll be a football player. He's a football player now. He plays extremely hard. He's grown. He's grown since I've gotten him. And I'm extremely proud of the progress that he's made so far.
But I tell you what,
he comes off the ball way better than what he was initially, and I'm proud of him for that.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, is that them, the offensive line?
Yeah, and Philip Scott, too.
Yeah.
And Philip Scott. So.
Now, do y'all have...
Who plays tight end for y'all?
Will Templin.
Pretty good receiver.
Yeah. He's a senior, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a senior. Yeah.
Well, Coach, oh, gosh, I didn't do that. It just came on. I don't go...
I think it's Pizzazz.
Coach, let me answer a couple of things here about your tight end and so forth. Y'all throw to him quite a bit, more than usual.
Yeah, he's open a lot. When you have Stephon Mosley on one side, John Warren Board on the other side, somebody's gonna come open.
That's right.
And when the ball comes his way, he makes the play. He's Will. He great kid. One of the better kids I've ever coached. Character wise. I love the kid to death.
Well, the daddy's a preacher, isn't he?
Yeah.
I want to ask you this, Coach. Of course, we've got Rehoboth and Eufaula. We'll play at Eufaula, play at Headland, play at Selma. And we have an open week. Did you design that to be healthy for the playoffs?
Yeah.
So our last game of the season, we're open.
Yeah. The way I like to do it, I wanted Pike County games to count, but we didn't. Coach didn't want it to count this year. He wanted to kind of build that team up, and that's okay. So I was banking on playing those 10 games with a bye week, but I didn't want to play 11 games back to back.
Right.
I didn't want to go from Jamboree all the way to week 10 and then have to play a playoff game.
Right.
Plus, that's a scouting week for us too.
Okay.
So that bye week, we're going to practice every day like we usually do. More than likely, at that moment, we'll know who we're going to play in the playoffs, and start to prepare, for that instance.
So you have actually already qualified for the playoffs, aren't you?
Essentially, and unless
like if you win this game this week.
Yeah, we win this game this week, we're in. It's a 6-man region, so all you have to do is win two region games, and you're pretty much in. And essentially, we've already done that.
Well, that is unreal. And of course, as long as you keep these guys' heads straight, and Coach, who's your line coach?
The O-line coach is Coach Powell. D-line coach is Coach Marcus Jones.
And he's done a good job with that offensive line. Coach Powell, I know him well.
Marcus Jones has been coaching Charleston for 15 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's been there for a minute. I think he took a year off at one point, but he's been here for a minute.
Mike, I coached this boy's brother, Butch Austin. He played at Troy and was a very good football player. And this is his younger brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not Butch Austin. You're talking about Butch Powell.
No, I mean Butch Powell. What am I saying? Butch Powell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Coach, what are you going to do on your extra points? Are you thinking about maybe starting to go for 2 or what?
Nick, he just got to get out of his slump, man. The thing about it, he's so hard on himself, and when he has to understand that, number one, he can't show those emotions because there may be somebody watching him. So if he comes to the sideline and completely shuts down, then he's going to lose whatever scholarship he's going to get anyway. But when you miss, you just have to regroup. That's just like Parker throwing an interception and coming down and scoring again. It happens. I mean, that type of stuff happens. So he just really got to get out of his slumps. I mean, he makes them in practice. He's 100% in practice.
We're talking about the extra point kicker, ladies and gentlemen, one of the fine kickers in the state of Alabama. Nobody kicks it in the end zone a bit more than he does. Does a great job.
So. I mean, he kicks it out of the end zone.
So that makes you feel good, doesn't it? You don't want to run back, do you?
No, it makes me feel good, and you can tell he was a little frustrated because he hit that 3-star. He on that sideline when he tried to run it back. I mean, Nick knocked him into the first row of stands. So, but he's just a kid that really has to get out of his own head. Yeah. He was 100% last year. He was an all-state football player last year. So, and he can get back to that.
And he's only a junior now.
Is he trying to kick it too hard? I mean, an extra point, you really don't have to put a whole lot on it.
Yeah, you don't have to put a lot on it. It's just focus.
It's more almost like a timing situation.
Snapper, holder.
Yeah.
The kicker.
Yeah, snapper.
Not back, touchdown. It's high enough. It is far enough. It is good. And with timeout on the play, Charles Henderson, 26, the St. James, 14. And that's how it turned out.
Yeah, and also we have to take into consideration that he's missing a lot of kicks, but there are college goalposts.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's some. It's condensed way more than high school.
Yeah.
So.
What about as far as Boyd though? Do you have a package where you put him down on the goal line, like in the red zone?
We may not.
I was about to say, I grew up. He wears number 2. And I grew up. My favorite player was David Palmer at Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Palmer.
The
Palmer.
dude
Palmer
is
was
loose. Yeah.
Palmer was so amazing when he played quarterback. He was just unbelievable.
Yeah, the dude.
You know, that Boyd kind of reminds me of Palmer. I've been trying to think about who he reminds me of. He reminds me a lot of David Palmer.
Yeah.
Just super smooth.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, he is.
You're right, but you're right. You could easily put him at the tailback and just snap it right back to him, and go,
Yeah.
But
Sure
you got a good runner though in your quarterback. Adams is a good runner. He's proven it and has made real good decisions.
Yeah, he's a great decision maker. And he took care of the ball. He took off in the red zone at one time. And I was wondering.
I thought he might go for a touchdown.
He ran one. He ran it. He ran it all the way in. And I was just proud of him, man. He's playing lights out.
Well, I noticed they rolled his car, Coach. They rolled his front yard this morning. I was backing out of my driveway, and they have rolled Parker's front yard. And I mean, it goes the length of his lot all the way. So he's got plenty to clean up this morning.
It's homecoming season. You can smell it in there.
And that is homecoming this week. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, there are distractions there, too.
Yeah, now there are a lot of distractions in homecoming. I can definitely agree with you on that. And I talked to him about it yesterday. There's no homecoming without a homecoming game. We got to play.
Back when I was a player a long time ago, I had to work on floats, trying to get our class float onto the parade,
Yeah.
And, of course, we'll be covering that parade right here on Troy Cable next Friday afternoon, and it'll be a lot of fun. Homecoming's a lot of fun, but like you said, you got to keep the most important things in mind.
Yeah, that's football. We it's like coaches, but I don't care. We have to play a game. It's a region game. We have to play it. There's no where you go through doing all this crazy stuff during the week and lose. Then what? Homecoming is ruined. So,
well, Coach, you look at your schedule. I can get Forrest to look at it, but you got Eufaula, you got Headland, you got Rehoboth, and you got one more. Selma. Mm-hmm. Those are all pretty good football teams right there. I mean, they can beat you if you don't come and play your game.
If you don't come and play, they'll beat you. I know Rehoboth. They play very, very hard. They in the trenches. They're gonna come off the ball. They're gonna be downhill. They're gonna be physical.
Yeah.
We have to match or exceed their physicality, and we just really have to play football. And of course, we know Eufaula. They're a well-coached and well-rounded team. They're athletic, they're big, they're strong. They have an Alabama commit on D-line. They have a Georgia State commit on the O-line.
Well, who is this now?
Eufaula.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have, Division I guys in the trenches. So, we have to come in our A game. And, of course, Headland played Eufaula very strong.
Yeah.
They were down 21-20 at halftime. Eufaula ended up winning the game. But, so they'll...
Headland's got a good team,
Yeah, so all these teams are really, really good. And Selma beat Greenville, 2 weeks ago. So, 36-6. Yeah, 36-6. So every team that we play has potential to win a game. So we have to come in, locked in, focus on 1 week at a time.
Well, you're exactly right. And I'm excited about the football season at Charles Henson. Coach, you're doing a great job. And how does your injury list look?
I think we may have a concussion on the O-line, so we're going to see how that goes. My running back, he has the flu, so he'll be back Thursday.
And tell me about the flu. Everybody claimed that there was a flu bug going around. Is that going on right now?
I'm not sure. It was just one of our guys.
Yeah,
the O-line was a little sick yesterday too, but we just have to stay healthy. Stay, wash our hands, sanitize our hands.
That's right. Yeah.
You got to make sure those guys don't get around the other guys.
Right. Exactly. So we Zach came. We sent him home yesterday, so he'll be back Thursday. I'm running back.
Okay, that's great. Well, Coach, congratulations. Another big win. And of course, Charles Henson 26-14 over St. James of Montgomery. And now we go to play home against a team that always seems to play us strong, and that's Rehoboth.
They're going to play strong. Homecoming at Charles Henson.
So, Coach, again, congratulations. Have a great week, Coach.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Happy homecoming.
Happy homecoming. It's time to get it.
We'll be back to more of Today in LA in just a moment.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
At cost plus 10%, we offer your favorite brands at the best price. At Piggly Wiggly, we keep it simple. We price our products at cost, then add 10% at checkout. We carry all your favorite name brand foods, and we accept manufacturer coupons. Find us on Facebook and see our weekly specials.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Back to today in Laura, Alabama, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope that you're having a great morning as we start a new week of Charles Henderson Homecoming Week. And like I said, they really rolled Parker Adams' yard last night. I thought I heard a noise, but I was afraid to go out there.
I got it.
Yeah. Please don't roll yours.
I got it. 5 nights last week.
Oh, really?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Well, you've got plenty of toilet paper to last you a year. Is that right?
Well, not quite. I've got a little bit.
Are they nice enough to come clean it up after they do it?
No.
I want to mention.
I'll be honest. What do you do?
I take a water hose and just spray it as high as I can get it, and then it comes right off.
Yeah, well, good.
And then I have to wet it so it won't fly into my neighbor's yards, and then I'll rake it up and put it in a trash can, and there we go.
Congratulations to the great Terry Bowden. Terry Bowden and La Monroe beat Louisiana Lafayette, though.
They
beat Louisiana Lafayette?
Mm-hmm.
La Monroe. I tell you what,
man.
Coach, I don't care what anybody
yeah,
says.
you
Big
tell
on his defense coordinator, too.
Well, I'm glad you told me, and I didn't realize it.
Hey, Mike, Georgia Tech, according to reports, are going to fire Geoff Collins, and here are the top prospects. At the top of the list, they're saying Deion Sanders from Jackson State.
Boy.
Sean Clark.
Boy, I can only imagine how he could recruit Atlanta.
Sean Clark, Appalachian State. Todd Monken, Georgia offensive coordinator. Tyson Helton, the Western Kentucky coach. Jamie Chadwell, the Coastal Carolina coach. And I cannot pronounce this. Andy Kortenecki, the offensive coordinator for Kansas. Those are the top prospects.
This kid that's at Kentucky, Western Kentucky, Mike, is that is he one of the brothers or what?
Clay Helton's brother, the former USC and now Georgia Southern coach, and then his dad was Tim Helton, the former Houston coach.
How long has he been there at Western Kentucky?
I'd say around 3 years. He was the offense coordinator at UAB at one time.
Well, he's done a great job. So there are 2 of them that are head coaches now. Then.
Yeah, he played quarterback at Houston.
Okay.
He was a good player, but Western Kentucky put 73 on I think Florida Atlantic this weekend. 73-0.
Man, oh man! And now we've got
not Florida Atlantic, but Florida International.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, somebody got beat 98-0. I had that typed and printed, but I'm trying to figure out where I put it.
Did you see that score? Somebody got beat 98-0.
No, who was that? Oh, me.
One of the.
I had it printed.
I'll tell you what, I've seen a few of them, bless.
Well, I can't find it, but somebody got beat 98-0.
Here's a recap of the weekend. Coastal Carolina beat Georgia State. For some reason, I thought Georgia State would win. Georgia State is 0-3.
Yeah.
Neil Brown, best win they've had since Neil's been in West Virginia. They beat Virginia Tech 33-10 on the road.
Yeah.
So Neil Brown survives. Illinois 31-0 over Chattanooga. Syracuse wins again. Syracuse is 4-0, beats Virginia 22-20.
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Stephen
F. Austin beat NAIA member Warner 98-0.
Oh, God.
Stephen F.
Shame on you. Shame on you, Coach.
Shocking score here. Georgia 39, Kent State 22.
Yeah.
Georgia did not get up for that game. Mississippi State bounces back 45-14 over Bowling Green, who had just beat Marshall, who Troy played. How about this? Did you ever think we'd say that? This year, Kansas 4-0.
Yeah, I know. That is amazing.
35-27.
But you haven't even mentioned that Middle Tennessee beat Miami 45-31.
I was getting to it. Auburn survived 17-14 over Missouri. Baylor 31-24 over Iowa State. Clemson in overtime. Boy, Wake Forest had them on the ropes, but Clemson survived 51-45. Another close game here that a lot of people didn't expect. Michigan only 34-27 over Maryland.
Yeah.
SMU, TCU. The battle of the Iron Skillet. TCU won 42-34. Tennessee survived Florida. They were up 38-21. Florida comes all the way back, gets the onside kick with a chance to win the game, but Tennessee wins 38-33. No shock here, if you know football at all. James Madison, who's been a 1AA powerhouse, goes 2 out state and wins 32-28.
Big boy, I tell you, look out.
How good is James Madison? They might win the league and can't qualify because
right.
they transition into 1A.
That's right. And their program. Let me tell you something else for people to understand too. You know, I know football is everything, but you got to think of some of the other things about that school. Their band marches right at 500 members at James Madison, and so it's a big band school too.
This loss really hurts Alabama. Texas Tech beat Texas 37-34.
Yeah.
I personally thought Texas might win out, but already losing on the road at Texas Tech. Sarkisian's now 2-2. He's going to have that Texas fan base rumbling already. Of course, they got West Virginia coming in town this weekend, and West Virginia's looking pretty good.
Yeah, they sure.
So, going to be interesting there. Western Kentucky, who Troy plays this weekend, 73-0.
Yep, 73. Shame on you, Coach.
A game that was really hard to pick. I picked Notre Dame, but Notre Dame won pretty convincingly at North Carolina, 45-32. Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't. I took Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a physically strong football team, and I'm sure they just sort of kept it between the tackles and
we're talking about a Notre Dame team that got beat by Marshall.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Can you believe that Marshall team beat Notre Dame?
They had 174 yards of offense against Troy.
Yeah. And Troy's defense is just playing lights out. Now, I would like to say, Mike, that the running back, a lot of people might not realize it, the running back for Marshall gained over 1,000 yards, or 1,400 yards last season.
He didn't play.
I don't. He didn't play?
Yeah, he didn't play against Troy. That was.
Oh God, lucky. I think now we might have seen a different Marshall team if he had played. Because
Coach Summerall was going to play, but he didn't play. Now watch out for this team right here. I don't know if y'all kept up with this, but Minnesota. Their best team ever under PJ Flagg. They went to Michigan State, won 34-7.
Boy, I tell you what, look out. You're right. And Flagg, what's his name again? TJ Flagg.
PJ Flagg. Yeah.
and he's not real impressive or anything like that. I don't think he even played college football, but
he played in Northern Illinois.
Did he?
He's a
Okay.
real fiery guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other games of interest: Cincinnati won 45-24 over Indiana. Here's your shocking score: Middle Tennessee beats Miami 45-31.
And
it was their first victory ever over a ranked team.
Yeah. And of course, a lot of people were talking about firing the coach going into that game. So he saved his job.
Bo Nix goes on the road and beats Washington State 44-41. So Oregon's playing pretty well.
Yeah. Yes, sir, really.
And then Mike involved this. This was his lock of the day. Ole Miss struggles with Tulsa 35-27.
Tulsa's pretty good.
And then other games of interest, Old Dominion continues to win. They beat Arkansas State 29-26.
Oh, boy.
Georgia Southern wins again, 34-23 over Ball State. Other games, of course, we mentioned Troy 16-7 over Marshall. Marshall was a 3.5-point favorite in that game, so Troy wins. And Troy should have won bigger than that. Troy kicked a couple of chip-shot field goals.
You're right.
Struggles with Northern Illinois 31-23. Southern Miss goes on the road, Dad, and beats Tulane. And Tulane went on the road and beat Kansas State.
All right, I told people about
Kansas State beat Oklahoma,
and we played. Southern Miss in 2 weeks. I'm gonna tell you what, they're a pretty good football team and very well coached. Very well coached.
The Sun Belt's just loaded. Then a heartbreaking loss here. Arkansas misses the field goal, hits the upright, loses A&M 23-21. Also, Arkansas is going in for a touchdown, fumbles at the 1 yard line. A&M picks it up, goes 99 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So Arkansas was probably the better team, but lost to A&M. And then other games of interest, South Alabama is really good. They beat Louisiana Tech 38-14. Their only loss is by 1 point to UCLA so far this year.
Wow.
So they're going to be really good.
That's right.
Another surprising score here. Ohio State 52, Wisconsin 21.
Yeah, they blew them out.
Alabama scores a couple touchdowns late, wins 55-3, so they covered the 40. Bryce Young had a good game. Defense continues to play well. Other games of interest throughout the day. LSU 38-0 over New Mexico. They'll play Auburn this week. Florida State continues to roll, Dad. 44-14. Florida State is undefeated, beat Boston College.
Oh, boy.
And then the shocking score of the day in the Sun Belt, La Monroe 21, Louisiana Lafayette 17. And like Forrest Lee mentioned, Kansas State won at Oklahoma 41-34. USC survives Oregon State 17-14. And then late night, this is the team to watch. Everybody needs to watch this team. Washington 40, Stanford 22. Washington is really good out west.
So, Mike, that's good coverage, and I appreciate that. And, Trey Siff threw 4 touchdown passes, and four Stephen F. Austin quarterbacks combined to throw for 8 scores as the Lumberjacks routed NAIA member Warner, shutting out the Royals 98-0 on Saturday night. Shame on you, my God. They're the disgrace of college football to beat somebody that bad. Man, that's bad.
And I don't know if anybody cares that the United States won the President's Cup.
Yeah, I know it. And, I couldn't watch that. I said, what are these guys? What are these guys trying to win for? They act like they were so serious. They were so serious, and they.
I mean, you're playing for your country. I mean, I understand it, but I mean, it's one of those type things where they're playing a team out of the international team that half the guys are playing on the list for.
Yeah, but there are teams out there that can beat you. You look at Maryland. Everybody was asking me about Maryland. Heck, Maryland's got a great offense, and on a given day they can play with anybody. And you look at Kansas State; they act like they can play with anybody. And now Utah ended up winning, so they're back on the winning trail. So you can watch them.
Yeah, I mean Utah's undefeated since they played Florida.
Yeah, and Then
I
takes
tell you what, Florida, though, under Napier, they're going to be pretty good. He's a good coach.
people that did not see the Auburn Missouri game, it was one of the most unusual games I think I've ever seen, where you got like Mike said, like you got a chip shot field goal, just like kicking an extra point, and the guy who was considered one of the top kickers in the country missed that chip shot field goal, and then in overtime, Auburn kicked the field goal and led 25-0. But then here comes Missouri.
17-14.
All right, excuse me. Then here comes Missouri, and he goes to right outside the goal line. He's trying to change the ball over to his left side, and he fumbled going in, and they call it a safety. Auburn wins.
Yeah, they call it touchback.
Touchback, and Auburn wins.
Yeah.
I mean, Forrest, did you watch that?
Oh, I saw the end of it. Yeah, you talking about the Auburn?
I mean, how in the world? I mean, if that guy is just like wanting to go get tackled at the one, just hold on the ball.
Yeah,
he might have scored if he had held with both hands.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to make a play that was just like not called for.
Yeah.
I know he wanted to score and win the game, but golly, I mean,
I count that.
That's just crazy to stick the ball out there like that.
I count that as a touch of I-ness.
Yeah.
You got to protect the ball at all times, and you had the first down. So
that was a big break for Auburn.
I mean, that's what I was telling my wife. I was like, they were about to have first down at the 1 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and of course, that was a big win for Auburn. Auburn finds a way. I'm telling you, they find a way, and if they might be able to take that win and go run down the
LSU.
If they turn around and they beat LSU this weekend, Auburn could possibly have a decent year.
Auburn LSU is not a great team at all. LSU is not a great team. I'm going to go ahead and out on my limb. I'm going to say right now, Auburn will beat LSU. Bum, 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 bum.
I don't know.
Bum, 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 bum.
When LSU beat Mississippi State the other night at home, LSU looked like they might be the real deal.
Well,
I think LSU will beat Auburn.
I don't think so, Mike. I really don't.
They shut down a really, really good Mississippi State offense. If they can shut down Mississippi State, they will have no problem shutting down Auburn.
Well, another thing, Auburn's got
Auburn was playing their third string quarterback.
Yeah, and
their
Auburn
second string quarterback got hurt too.
Yeah, and Auburn will have to run the football. They can't throw it, especially with this second string
Well,
quarterback.
when your leading runner is your quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. But I think Auburn will play. They held Missouri to 14 points. That's not bad.
Well, that's got Kentucky's that old Miss.
Missouri ought to be ashamed of themselves. I mean, how in the world? I mean, you could have run it in at the end of the game, and they were personally losing 5 yards every play because they knew they had a great kicker. I mean, you come on giving away a game. That's the worst giveaway game I've ever seen.
All right, well, let me just say this. Auburn this week against LSU, they will win. And then another one, Auburn will win in my book. And then the other one I picked is Kentucky over Ole Miss. Where are they playing that game, Mike?
Ole Miss.
Oh, they are playing at Ole Miss? Well, Kentucky, I'm going to take Kentucky to beat Ole Miss.
Alabama at Arkansas, Georgia at Missouri, Texas A&M at Mississippi State.
Well,
so those are the big ones.
Alabama could be, Mike. I'm thinking Arkansas might play Alabama tough.
Yeah, Alabama just needs to get some of those receivers back that are still injured and haven't played this year. JoJo Earl, then that Harold kid that transferred into Louisville, supposed to be so fast. They need some guys to stretch the field.
Yeah. Mike, Arkansas.
Ole Miss is a 6.5-point favorite against against Kentucky.
Right.
Now
let's laugh about this one. Oh, no, go ahead, Forrest.
Did Battle pull his hamstring at the end of the game? He was holding the back of his hamstring. Jordan Battle, number 8.
Yeah, he got injured. Latou got injured, the tight end. Another receiver got hurt, too.
A defensive end's probably out.
Honest, I was watching most of the Troy game. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of Alabama.
Yeah. Let me tell you this. Arkansas, what's the line on Arkansas? I'm going to give you
Alabama line started at 14.5. The Vegas jumping all over Alabama to 16.5 now.
Okay, gosh, I thought it would be more than that. Arkansas.
Well, it's at Arkansas.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Well, I've got a feeling it's going to go up, probably go over 17 probably at one time. But I was going to say Arkansas could play them tough because of that big, strong quarterback.
LSU is a 8-point favorite against Auburn.
Wow.
LSU's 8 at Auburn.
LSU's getting 8 at Auburn.
Oh gosh, jump all over it. Take Auburn and the 8 points and run with it.
Western Kentucky is a 6-point favorite at home against Troy.
Well, they give Troy a lot of respect, don't they? And this is supposed to be
Western Kentucky's a 6-point favorite over under 57.5. So that's pretty low over under considering they just scored.
Sure, that's right. Forrest, what do you think there?
I've had to
Farley,
think about it. Pike Liberal Arts, was scheduled to go to Brooks County, Georgia. Now they will be going to Danville High School.
That's a little basketball school up North Alabama.
It's near the Tennessee border.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours and 18 minutes away, 216 miles.
So y'all gonna have to spend. I believe no question about it. They're gonna have to spend the night at that game. There's no way these kids need to be in a bus going home.
Well, if you stretch out, you can always close your eyes and sleep on the way. But here's who Danville's played: Lawrence County. They lost 24-6. Falkville beat Danville 41-15. They defeated Susan Moore in overtime, 35-28. They lost to J.B. Pennington, 36-7. They lost to Madison Academy, 48-0.
Oh boy, let's just say this. Let's say this. Pike's got a shot at winning a football game this weekend.
Yeah. Danville's 3A. So in that area, you got Vinemont, Asbury, Brindley Mountain, J.B. Pennington, Madison Academy, and Susan Moore, of course. The class of that region is Madison Academy. And this is a 3A school, 3A Region 7 that Pike Liberal.
I've been up there before many a time, so all those places you're talking about, that'll be a beautiful drive. You'll see the fall foliage, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be but they're going to have to spend the night.
That's up in North Alabama, for sure. That's a long drive.
What I'm saying, you folks at Pike Liberal, and I know y'all know what y'all doing, but these kids don't need to drive home after that ball game. They need to spend the night on the road because after that Danville game, it'll be.
If they take like a Capital Trailways bus, those are nice buses.
Yeah, I know it, but still, that's but to go up there during the day and then come back during the night, boy, that's.
I'd rather come home and be in my bed at 1 o'clock than get up Saturday morning and be home at noon.
Yeah,
that's what I'd rather do.
They're not taking yellow fuel buses all the time. They probably take Capital Trailways.
No, Pike Liberal Arts has two nice.
Yeah, they do.
Super duper 35 to 38 passenger buses. They've got two of them. And football team will fit on one, and the cheerleaders will fit on the other one.
I'm gonna just say,
they're good buses. I-65 all the way. So,
what is I-65? We go to Danville.
I believe it. We all hadn't looked at the directions.
Well, that past Athens, Alabama, and all the way up there.
That's
But what I'm saying,
Brindley Mountain's more towards like Gunnersville.
Yeah, that's right. Let me just say this: at least they'll leave at around 10 o'clock in the morning. Get up there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Eat on the way somewhere.
Get ready for the ball game, and the ball game starts at 7 o'clock.
So we didn't mention Pike County had a big victory over.
They did.
I was just fixing to say something about that. Yeah.
18-13.
I told y'all, and y'all heard me say it each week, that watch out for Pike County. They're going to get better and better and better. I'd hate that. If I was a 3A school, I'd hate to have to play Pike.
There was another odd play that there was something on a punt, and one of the Pike County, I think it's what it was, I saw it on WSFA, the guy from Pike County just picked it up and just froze. and everybody else froze, and he just tossed it to Ian Foster, and he flew down the sideline and scored to win the game, 18-13.
Oh, yeah.
It was toward the end of the game.
Like a trick play, huh?
Well, I don't know if it was trick, but it was like an odd play, but he knew to throw it to.
Ian Foster is a great athlete. Is he a junior or a senior?
He's a senior.
Yeah, he's a real good player.
Yes, sir.
But you're exactly right. That's a great victory for Pike County, and look out, watch them close.
You know, and I went to the Goshen game, and they won 63-19, and but I think Goshen's won 3 or 4 games this year. They only won 1 last year to beat Pike County.
One of the teams that did we play Faith Academy? We didn't play Faith, did we? We dropped them.
Pilot Rocks could play Faith.
They were going to. Well, let me just tell you about Faith Academy. They beat St. Paul, Mike. Big, strong St. Paul. They beat them 34-7. So they must have a great team right there at Faith Academy.
One of those teams we still will play down there.
And of course, again, congratulations to Zion Chapel. They've already won more games they have in the last few years. They win 28-19 over Pleasant Home.
We will play Faith Academy at home next week.
Oh gosh,
mm-hmm.
They're perhaps the best high school football team in the state of Alabama.
Montgomery Catholic is who they play this past weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. And they well, the sad thing about the game, and I said I wasn't going to say anything about it, but they had I think they had a moving clock the whole second half.
They did.
So the whole second half they ran the clock, Mike, and so no telling how bad that could have been. But it happens that way, and I'm glad that they did it, but. You hate to do it.
Yeah, we got a lot going on in Major League Baseball. We're trying to see if Pujols will get the 700 home run.
He did. He did.
Oh, he did?
He did this weekend. He hit 2 this weekend. He's at 700. He sure did.
Man. Missed that.
Yeah, he did. He got it.
So Albert Pujols has hit 700. Okay, good. So now we're waiting to see if Judge will break the home run record in the American League.
He's still at 60.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm not sure how many games are left. There's probably 13 or 14 games left, 12 to 14.
Yeah, you're right. Pujols now has 700 career home runs, 2,208 RBIs, 296 career average, almost 3,400 hits. Unbelievable.
And
when did he hit it? Did he hit it yesterday for us?
No, he hit it this weekend against the Dodgers, maybe. And the guy who caught the ball wants to keep it. He's not going to sell it. He'll probably sell it one day.
Yeah,
and Pujols said, I could care less. He said, it's a souvenir. Whatever he decides to do is fine.
Yeah.
And but he did hit it, and I'm super excited for him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
I tell you what, we didn't talk about the NFL. We can talk about it tomorrow. But Tua made a big throw to Jalen Wiley yesterday. He made Tua got hurt in the game, but I never thought the Dolphins could beat the Bills.
Yeah, we know that. We know it. But Mike, we've got to. This is our special Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, and of course, remember, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines is a great place to not only to learn how to drive a truck, but also to run a tremendous